Alright, so look, I got another tutorial here for you guys. This one was highly requested down in the comments of my last skill tutorial. And it's pretty much a cutscene skill. So we're just gonna hop right into it. But if you haven't watched the grab skill video, go and watch that first, because we're literally gonna be using the exact same code, like the exact same thing. Like this is the same function, haven't changed anything. We're just gonna do that, right? So like first thing we're gonna do, or actually before you even do that, go down in the description. It's different animations, but it's up to you if you want to do those animations. But go ahead and oh my goodness, go ahead and get these animations for like the grab skill. They'll be linked down below. But let's just hop right into it. So I'm gonna start by inserting just like a regular R6 dummy, and you can do this with R15 as well. It works the exact same way. But I'm gonna get this dummy and I'm gonna name this target, and then I'm going to get another dummy, and I'm just gonna use myself just because, and I'm gonna name this user. Alright, so now I'm gonna just delete like these accessories just so you can actually see. And actually with this method you're gonna need moon animator. So if you don't have moon animator, I'm pretty sure it's another way you can rig the camera to like the default animator, but I'm not too sure on how to do that. But if you guys want a tutorial without moon animator and like using a little bit of scripting, I'll try and do something like that, but that might take some time. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and say, like, we're gonna use this command bar down here, and if you don't have this, you go up into view, and I believe it's command bar right here. You go ahead and just show that. So we're gonna say workspace dot user humanoid root part dot c-frame, and we're gonna set it to the target c-frame. So workspace dot target humanoid root part and then c-frame, and then you're gonna end up with something like this, right? Then go ahead and open up your moon animator, and you want to uncheck rig animation, because what this is gonna do is this is gonna just make it to where it's like it's basically you're gonna convert it just to a moon file, so you can have two thingies inside of it. We're just gonna say grab cutscene, whatever you name it, doesn't really matter. And we got the user here. So what I'm gonna do is you have to also turn on animation events as well. So I'm going to right click user, hit edit, and I'm going to import the animation. Alright, so we got the animation here, and I'm just gonna save that file really quick, and this is what the animation essentially looks like for the target. He tosses them, right? So now what you want to do is go ahead and hit this plus and get the target rig and push OK, and go ahead and add your target rig in. Then you want to do the exact same thing and import your animation. Alright, so we have the animations here. This is what the scale looks like. It's pretty much the exact same scale, except he just tosses them at the end, right? Right? He tosses them. So what you want to go ahead and do, and I'm pretty sure the animations I uploaded already have this, but if they don't, you simply want to just create a keyframe, call it hit, and then another keyframe, call it C frame, and then another keyframe and call it end. Alright, so we can go ahead and push camera at the top and click reference. Now what you want to do is find your user and select their humanoid root part and set that as the reference, hit OK, and then you want to add yourself a camera. Now how the camera actually works is, say if I started the cutscene right here, and you would just hit plus and it'd add a C-frame for you. I mean a keyframe for you. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna animate this. I'm gonna try and like just make it look simple, I guess. So I'm just gonna save this, and you want to hit export rig. So you're gonna get, like, you're basically gonna have an export, and it's gonna export your camera folder to your, or not your camera folder, your camera keyframes to your camera instance in the workspace, and both of these skills into their respective things. And just so you can name it, we can say this is target, but you don't really need this. This is just like a backup essentially. Alright, so if we were to go ahead and hop back into our grab script, and if we say if keyframe is equal to C-frame, then we're going to set our humanoid root part, or target C-frame, our target humanoid root part. And we're going to set this to the target's torso C-frame. And if this was an R15, it'd be upper or lower torso, or upper or lower torso, depending on how you wanted it. But because it's R6, it's only a torso. And what this does pretty much is on the hit, it does exactly how it did from the last script. But on C-frame, instead of it setting the character like back, like with the humanoid root parts joined together, it would actually just like set the C-frame to the torso C-frame, basically leaving them up in the air wherever they were at. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, if target is not equal to nil, I'm going to go ahead and create a weld constraint. And this is going to basically hold our two parts together. And this is going to be a weld constraint, not a regular weld, because with the regular weld you have to input a C0 and a C1, and it's just going to confuse things. So we're just going to use a weld constraint. So we're going to say weld constraint dot part 0, and we're going to set it to character dot humanoid root part. And then after the C-frame's been set, we're going to say weld constraint dot part 1, and we're going to set this to target dot humanoid root part. Then what we can say, we can just go ahead and parent this to the character, and then on end we can say if weld constraint, then weld constraint destroy, and weld constraint is equal to nil. And what this is pretty much going to do is, actually, no, my bad. You want to do this like right before you set your actual C-frame, because if you don't, then your character's not going to move. So you want to set, you want to go ahead and just set it like right above this little function right here. So now what you want to do is we're going to use the same little replicate thingy like we did last time. So we're going to say, and I don't know, do we want to do it? Yeah, we can do it here. We can do it here. And I'm actually just going to remove this task.wait because we actually are using a weld constraint. And I'm just going to say replicate fire client. And we're just going to say player and event. And we're just going to set the event to cutscene. And we're going to set character to character. But one thing to note, if you wanted to fire it to both the user and the target, you would just simply do if like you basically want to check if the player actually is a player. So if game get service players, get player from character target, then you want to say you want to just fire this and then set the player to this target instance right here. This is how you would do it if you wanted to fire it to both players. But because we don't have both players, this isn't gonna really work. But I'll just leave this here just because, right? So next thing what you want to do, go into the description and check out the dev form I have linked below. This is actually this is where I actually got the script from. I did not make this script, not taking credit for it. But pretty much what this script does is it uses run service and it loops through the keyframes and it just handles all the nice animations for you. So just go ahead and go down there and get that, and also just read around as well. But once you've done that, just head into the replicate script. Now that we're inside of the replicate script, it's a couple of things that you have to set. So you want to set your character and your camera. But be warned, make sure you set these inside of this on event, like on client event, because if you don't, depending on where this is at, like this is just gonna like have an old character, like an old instance of your character that doesn't exist, and the camera's just pretty much not gonna work. And we can just go ahead and head into replicated storage as well, and just make a new folder. I'm gonna just name this folder cutscenes, or matter of fact, I'm gonna just name it camera events. And just go ahead and slide that in there. And then on the cinematics folder, we just want to reference this location. So it'll be replicated storage, camera events, and grab cutscene. And on the documentation, it's a line where you have to copy. And if you want, you can just copy how I have mine here. But where it says if needed frame, you simply want to just paste that in and then add args.character to it. And this is pretty much going to get the character argument that you sent from the server, because you don't want this to have the root part or the reference part of the target when we're using the reference part of the attacker, right? So that's the whole purpose of that. And anywhere you see character, you pretty much want to just add args in front of it, or whatever your little what is this? Your argument is called, right? Or your parameter, whatever you want to call it. So now we're pretty much good. We're pretty much done. We can just hop in and test it, and we'll see right now. Oh, and I forgot to turn this this thing off from the last tutorial, but oh, wait, did I do that? I'm not sure, but let's see. Boom, there it goes. And it obviously didn't set it because I obviously didn't spell something right. Yep, I didn't put a dot right here, but if you would have put a dot, it would work perfectly fine. And just to show, we can test it one more time. All right, so we can go ahead, boom, and it flings the character. Obviously, you will want a more like controlled way of managing that. You probably want to set the C-frame, add ragdoll, whatever you want to do. But this is just a tutorial giving you guys the basics, and that's pretty much it.